Whoa, this feels weird. I actually gotta shift this. Hey, it's probably really blurry. What up? What up, G's? Welcome back to LOTG. A little 3 week hiatus. Yikes! I'm not too not too proud of that, but it is what it is. Yeah, it's been crazy the past few weeks. I've not an excuse, but I've just had little time. Definitely overbooked myself a lot. And yeah, work has been crazy. Um but like enough about me, man. I don't and all my negative stuff, on the brighter side, um I'm actually packing right now to head up to Wyoming with my friends and my girlfriend and one of her friends as well. And I'm pretty excited. I've had this on the books for a couple months now, and um, taking my first day off of work in 2 months, which doesn't sound like a long time, but um, yeah, it's definitely felt like a long time. I think a lot has happened in the past couple months, so I'm just pretty excited. I even thought about it tonight. I went home last night, and I'm like, I'm not gonna bring my laptop on this trip. And then I thought about it, and I kind of have something to do Monday, and I'm like, well, I could just in the mornings before everyone wakes up, go. And I'm like, nope, nope, no, 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 no. I will figure it out when I get back, but I'm like, I cannot. I'm like, I'm gonna enjoy this time with my friends and my girlfriend, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do anything, and I've just been so burnt out. Like the last time I got burnt out, I had this huge crash out where I don't know, just I'm not gonna get into the details on here, but it was very obvious that I was burnt out. I'll just say that. But this time, it's just it doesn't hurt as bad, which is nice, but it's a little more disguised. And it's just I don't want to do anything. I don't want to talk to anyone. I'm anything that brings me joy like this, I'm just questioning. I'm like, why do I even do this? It's I don't know. Is Once you burnt out, you, at least for me, I sort of just, I don't know, just lose my identity a little bit, because I'm so disconnected from anything else that brings me joy besides just getting my stuff done in lab, which is totally not healthy. Yeah, I might get a smidgen more done, but I make more mistakes. I'm not as creative. I'm not as I'm not as good of a critical thinker at work. It totally doesn't make sense. There is a limit to it. And I don't know, I don't regret it. Part of the limit and part of this is figuring out what your threshold is and kind of how much you can handle, right? So and the only way to unfortunately know what your limit is to test the limits, right? So um yeah, I think it's just prolonged weeks of stress, right? If you're going 1, maybe 2 weeks of grind, and then you okay, back to 40s, it's fine. But if you're prolonged 60, 70 hour weeks, and you go home, you're thinking about work, you're hanging out with someone, you're thinking about work, it's just bruh, it's too much. It's too much. So I don't know. I've been happy. I've made some pretty big progress. And I think just scientifically wise, I feel I've really soft skill wise learned how to become a better scientist, how to be more meticulous, ask the right questions. I think I'm starting to get there, which I'm super grateful about. But um yeah, I think it's been a lot of science, as you can tell. But yeah, still here, still getting stuff done. I'm kind of running, I'm getting 2 runs in a week right now. I gotta start cranking up those numbers again for the marathon. I think so I'm running Chicago in October, and my last training cycle for Raleigh last pretty much October, we'll say November, was I started in May. Um, I think like late May. So this time I'm gonna try to start like ramping up in like April instead. I guess now looking at it, it is like a few weeks ahead of my training for Raleigh, or like the marathon is earlier than it was for Raleigh. Like Raleigh was a few weeks later. So like, yeah, I still think like maybe a good goal would be like try to get like, you can see how little I've thought about this. Like maybe to like I'm thinking like trying to get up to like maybe like 20-30 miles by like, I don't know, maybe by my birthday. My birthday's April 12th, so it's coming up. I'm getting really excited for that. But yeah, man, I'm like super glad that I need to find more time for this, man, cuz like it is just so nice to come on here and just like, dude, it's crazy, man. I always look at like YouTube and Spotify, which I would presume are separate listeners that tap in, which is like super cool. And I'll consistently get like at least like 10 to 15 on YouTube, and then I'll get like 20 to 25 on Spotify. So I have like, I don't know, like I'm not gonna say that they're all like regulars, but like I feel like on Spotify they definitely are. Like, so I'm probably getting around like 30 listeners a week just tapping into LOTG, which thank you guys so much. Like I know these uploads haven't been consistent and whatnot. I did, since recording this though, I have I'm just waiting for the art gallery. The guy, shout out Josh. I don't know if he's tuning in or not, but he's like listening to it right now just to make sure that like, you know, all the things we talked about like were cool. And then um I actually like did another podcast with my roommate who I did like 2 years ago, like right when I moved out to Denver. So I have an update. Like I tapped in and got him on, and then like I have like, I think like I'm also gonna be recording one this weekend, which will be episode 100, which I'm like super stoked for. And then I think I have like two more lined up, which I think puts me at, I think Josh is 95, Will is 96, and then if those two go through, the ones I'm planning, that'll be 97, 98, and I'm recording 100 this weekend. So I'll literally have like one more after that. And then we'll be at 100. So I don't even know, man. I'm just like, I'm speechless. Like if when that happens, I don't know when it's gonna. I think it will happen before the end of the year. Like I'm pretty confident of that. It's just like a matter of when at this point. So like I'm really excited. Like 100's gonna go crazy. Like I said, like there will be merch, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully, maybe a little summer drop. You know, like I think that's how it might be ending up turning out. My artist though, Morgan, she like doesn't have Adobe Illustrator. I think that's where we made them, the shirts. So like I need to figure out someone who has Illustrator so I can like I can like actually like open the document like the OG shirt. And I think I'm just going to like copy that shirt, and then like I think I want to add like some final details, maybe like, I don't know, like 100 or in the corner, like I don't know. I might do some like special, maybe some special ones for like kind of just the day ones that have always tapped in and listened. And I don't know, I might buy myself like a bunch of stuff. Like I honestly don't know like when I'll make all this stuff again. So like I want to make sure like I have my drip, y'all have your drip. We're celebrating 100 episodes. That was always the goal. So yeah, I mean, Flying Intuition has evolved quite a bit, but like we're still here, man. Like I think I've gotten busier, so like unfortunately like that means like, I don't know, man. College was so nice because, dude, like I had so much time to like fucking just hop on and record, and you know every week I was cranking out another episode. And like I don't know, it was before it like felt like a lot of work, and like I don't know, just like scheduling the episodes and editing, like kind of like it was back then where it was like kind of like ignorance is bliss, and I was just like, oh yeah, I'll like spend time editing and uploading. You know, I didn't really think I was like, it'll only take 2 seconds, it'll only take and then like of course like when I listen to it I'm like, oh, this is why I do, you know, like once you get to the end product it's good. And like hosting, and like once you get to listen back, that's like the best, but everything in between just sucks, man. Like it really does. But Yeah. Anyways, these past few weeks, like I've been kind of, yeah, like just burnt. And when I get burnt, like the wisdom doesn't come as much, which kind of sucks. Like because I think a lot of that excess thought that I'd have, like, going into flying intuition is going into work, and then by the time I'm done, I'm just like gas. But one thing that I've been thinking about, I went on a hike with my friend Ari this weekend, and um, it got brought up a couple times, and I think like I really like how we framed this, and my friend just said like, like life is just a collection of experiences, right? And every day you wake up, it's just like another experience, another like page in the story, right? And I don't know, I think it's an interesting concept. Like, how do you how do you write the book of Jeremy, or the book of John, or the book of, Emily, or whoever's listening right now? Like, how do you write that book, and how do you want that story to be told? And like, do you want it to be like, you know Jeremy, was on TikTok like all day after work today, or you know Jeremy was working and has been working for the last 40 years, and that has let him define who he is, like all these different things, like they're just like, I think it allows you to kind of zoom out on your life, and instead of like seeing all these of different events as like stressors and things you want to do and things you don't want to do, it's more so just like, no, like this is the life I'm trying to experience, right? And like all the things that happen in my life are just part of the bigger picture, right? And they're not an experience is like, I don't know, like the definition of an experience. Like I feel like the like back like a few months ago I'd always like look up the definitions, but I don't even want to bust out my phone right now. Like the way I feel about it is like, it's just, an experience is something that, you know like you feel, right? Something you feel, and that can be have an experience to me is something that some moment in time that's, it has to be emotionally charged in some way, right? Like maybe it doesn't, but it's something that you experience. I don't know. It's like, um I guess what I'm trying to get at is that like, things in your life are gonna happen, right? Oh my god, mind blowing. It's about to get deep. They're gonna happen. No, but like, things in your life are gonna happen, right? And you're gonna live your life, and one day you're gonna die, right? And it's like, but like, what you have control over is how you frame those experiences, right? And I think what's interesting about it is, some people frame their entire lives as misery, and this is terrible, and I had this experience, it was negative. I had this experience, it was negative. I had this experience, it was negative. And they just never allow themselves to see the good, right? And there's other ways to look at it too, which I also have an argument against, and I think I've touched on this a little bit, where like, this experience was positive. Oh no, this experience was positive. Oh wait, everything is positive, And it sounds great at first, but the issue is that you kind of get, I don't know. It just like, it's not realistic, I think. Like, you're allowed to feel sad sometimes. And I think that's, I used to live that lifestyle, but I think what was weird was when I wasn't feeling positive or happy or upbeat, it was like the world is ending, right? And it's like, this is impossible. Like, I'm always happy. Like, why am I not happy? You know? And it becomes this like cycle of like, kind of, it just leads you into a spiral of like, why am I not happy? Why am I not happy? You know? And it's like, but in reality, what it is, and I've learned this only recently in the past couple of years, is that I think it's good to live not even a glass half full, like a glass. Your life should be like three quarters, right? Where you're always looking at life in three quarters. Not always full. The glass isn't always full, right? There's always room for something else, or there's always room for like also like disappointment, sadness, like grief, letdown, or just a plain old bad day. But like, um, you at the end of the day, you still have hope that um, if things are good, they will continue to be good, or if things aren't good, they will continue to change for the better. And in a world where like so much of what you do is like out of your control and dependent on other people, I would argue that you should live the experience through the lens you want to, right? Because ultimately, like, that is up to you, right? And I don't know. Me and Ari kind of got into like religion a little bit, which I'm not really like really trying to get into, but like kind of like, I don't know, adjacent to religion is this idea that like um me and my girlfriend, as well as my best friend, like have this sort of like opposing viewpoint about these things. And it can be something as simple as like, um I'll give you like a great example. Like a few months ago I went for a run um through like a busy park in Denver, and I don't know. Actually, this morning I saw someone I knew, which was kind of cool. But like a few months ago I saw someone I knew. They were from work. Like I've never seen them at the park before, and it was just like crazy. I was like, that's so wild. Like the odds of that. Like I know they like work with me, and they like, they probably live in Denver, so there's like a chance. But like Denver's like a huge place, right? And the odds that we're there at the same time is just like pretty insane. And like that we ended up crossing paths. And like I was always under like I was always like kind of like, I don't know. I always step back and think, I'm like, what does that mean, man? Like I'm always under like the kind of the belief that like, not like, I don't know, I'm not gonna say um like get too religious or anything, but just that like, why did that happen? And like the two conflicting viewpoints are like, I think the person, like we ran into each other like for some reason, like that happened and it had some interaction, and I'm supposed to like reflect on what that means, right? Whereas like my girlfriend and my best friend, they're like more under the condition where it's like, well, like, that you live in the same city, right? It was a nice day out. You guys are both active. Like that was just bound to happen, and it was just a crazy coincidence, And fair enough. Like those two things, like, are okay. So here's what I'm getting at with experiences, though. Through my eyes, the experience was I ran into this person that I knew, right? From a place that was unrelated to the park, right? And you can look at it like that. Like you can look at it like, yeah, I like, super, super like scientific, super like, well, by random chance and probability, there was a small chance that was going to happen, right? Or you can look at it like, wait, I ran into them and maybe there's something more to it that I should be thinking about and being like, huh, that's like really crazy. Like, I wonder why that happened, and sort of like applying your own meaning to it in a positive way. And that's what I'm trying to get at, is like you have control of how you look at those things, right? You can look at it like it's a random coincidence, and then you leave not really thinking anything more of it. Like you're just like, oh, it was a coincidence, and you kind of move on with your life. Or you frame it from my frame of reference where it's like, huh, like I wonder if there's an aspect of my life related to that person that I'm, that's missing, or an attribute to them that maybe like I really like about them that I've like been trying to work on but actively forgotten, or like something like that. And it's just like it allows, at least for me, like a moment of reflection, right? For me to be like, "Oh, I wonder why that happened." You know? And fair enough. Like if you get those moments of reflection in other ways, like so be it. But I'm just saying this is an example for like just a simple like way of looking at something can just like change your whole perspective of it. And guess what? Alter your experience of that moment that occurred, right? And say what you want if you agree with, my friend or my girlfriend versus my point. I don't really care, but you definitely can't argue that the experience is different. How I experience those two things, depending on like what my frame of reference is for what I like, how I think about that scenario, like that changes my experience about the situation, right? And what I'm getting at is that like I would argue that looking at it through the way that I looked at it is a more positive one, right? And I'm thinking about, oh, like, like what essentially like going through my head, like, what do I why did that happen? And it's like positive reflection, right? And so you can like look at it, those things, like, I don't know, you can look at it through it like a negative lens as well. It's like, oh, that just reminded me that I like hate that person, and it's like, but like again, that's going to give you a different experience and a different outcome and just a different way of like living, right? And in a world where you have control of how you want to live those experiences out, I would just encourage you to think very carefully about, maybe I should look through these in a positive way, because maybe this is just like a win-win in the way that like I'm gonna like get free positivity out of this for seemingly pretty much no effort applied at all, besides just framing the way you look at things just a little bit different. So with all that being said, thank you for tuning into Life the Germ. I'm excited to hear your thoughts and what you think. And with that, I will let you guys go. And I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful that I'll be able to come on next week. I don't know what day. And yeah, keep getting those episodes up. And slowly chugging our way to episode 100 as well for the podcast. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time.